Right.
Hello, my name is Shelley. I'm one of the nutrition providers here at Vitality Health Matrix, and I'm also a clinical herbalist. So let's talk a little bit today about we're in the middle of our water challenge or middle of our hydration challenge, and sometimes it can get hard to keep drinking water if you're tired of the taste of water. If you're just looking for something with a little more flavor in it, it can be really helpful to think about infusing water or making herbal teas that have some additional benefits that you can look forward to drinking so that you can continue to get some of that water, to get the water that you need to help keep you hydrated. I know it helps me a ton. I look forward to my teas in the morning and the afternoon. Let me introduce you to a couple of my favorites. Now, some of you, if you are familiar with herbal teas or anything, you probably have heard of this herb. It's nettle. Oh, there we go. That's not showing up super well in the camera. That's tricky. Maybe we won't be doing show and tell today. But nettle is a really wonderful herb. Now, it's not, well, it's a really wonderful herb because it's full of natural minerals. So it's like a natural electrolyte. It's one that has been used for thousands of years in a multitude of traditional herbal practices to help with what we call nourishing the blood. It is a kind of slightly salty herb because it does grow in areas that have a lot of minerals in them. Here in the greater Wasatch Mountains, we find it near streams and we don't have a lot of marshy places here because it's deserty, but it usually where we find really deep, dark soils, we tend to find really great nettles. And nettle, well, you may know it as stinging nettle, and when it gets older and more mature, it definitely can be stinging. But when it's fresh and young, you can harvest it. I would always use gloves because you never know quite when those stinging nettles start to come out. But if you cook them or you dry them and put them in tea, you can cook them and stir fry them. But if you dry them and put them in tea, then they lose their stinging capacity and they infuse an incredible amount of minerals and nourishing constituents into your teas and your soups and things like that you want to use. One of the best combos is nettle and lemon balm. Can you see this one? It is another green herb, so a little bit, so they look kind of similar as far as the actual herb. Lemon balm is known as the happiness herb. It's sweet. It is a little bit tart. It's got a little bit of a lemon essence to it. It helps to uplift the spirit. It helps to improve, like it's known for its ability to help act on the liver. So when you've got something that's really nourishing, that's full of lots of minerals, and then you add something that's got a little bit of tartness and that helps to lift the mood, clear the liver, and calm the system. It's an interesting herb because it's known to be both uplifting and calming at the same time. We don't have a lot of those. Usually they're one or the other. But that's why it's called the happiness herb. And nettle and lemon balm are a great combo. Now, if you're really feeling kind of dry, you tend towards dry skin, maybe dry mouth, those types of things, I would add this little sweetheart. And these are dried from my garden last year, but can you see it? These are calendula. And calendula, if you were to touch the leaves, the petals of these flowers, especially when they're fresh, but you can feel it a little bit when they're dry too, they have kind of a waxy, lotiony type of substance to them. Calendula is wonderful for soothing the mucous membrane, so it's great for coughs. It's great for a dry mouth. It's great for when you've got maybe smoke in the air during fire seasons, depending on where you live, or allergy season as well. It's an herb that is super easy to work with. You can throw it in soups and stews, but you can also make beautiful teas with it, and it tastes really light. And it's very uplifting, and we know that it's really soothing to all the different tissues in the body. So it's wonderful if you've got a tummy ache, or you've got kind of that acid tummy, or you've got kind of that dry, scratchy throat. It's a really good one to have on hand. And another one that I'm gonna introduce you to. Maybe you've heard of it, maybe you haven't. It's really popular in Europe, and it grows pretty much everywhere that I've lived in the United States, which is a lot of places. The only place I can't remember seeing it grow is Florida, but I'm sure it would grow there in certain parts. But it's linden flower. Can you see this? It's linden leaf and flower. So you'll see both the flower and the leaf. That's interesting. Sorry, I keep disappearing. Dried and in teas, and linden flower is known again to be a very nourishing, very calming very gentle herb to come in and help support the nervous system. And it adds so many nutrients and minerals to your water. It's a really fun one to blend in with all of these. So you could make a mix of nettle and lemon balm and linden flower and calendula and maybe a little bit of rose. Rose petals are another one that I love to reach for because they also have that, that kind of soft silkiness that rose petals have. Those that infuses into the tea, and that's why it's been used for so many years for skin products, because it's so nourishing, but it's just as nourishing for the inside of our body as it is for our skin. So and it's got just a teeny tiny bit of caffeine in it. Rose petals do. Nothing like green tea or black tea, but just a tiny bit. And so it becomes a bit of a heart accelerant. So something that helps to just uplift and open up the pores and open up the body and help improve circulation, which helps to bring fluid deeper into the tissues, right? Okay, and then last but not least is, I don't know if you can see this one. I wasn't anticipating the challenge with the background, this is dried chamomile from my garden last year. And if you know the difference between a homegrown fresh tomato and a store-bought tomato, then you know the difference between fresh grown and dried chamomile versus a little chamomile packet that you buy at the grocery store. It is night and day, lifetimes of difference. The flavor, the sweetness, the soothing qualities that chamomile has. Chamomile has always been kind of classified as a children's herb, but it is such a wonderful herb for children of all ages. And it's wonderful for bedtime, but it's not necessarily an herb that is sedative. It's an herb that's very calming. And one of the ways that it helps to calm is it's also really high in minerals. So it's a great one when we're looking to keep you hydrated. It's got a little bit of magnesium, a little bit of calcium, and a little bit of potassium, and it helps to soothe and calm and ground, which you can use at any time of the day, right? And so that's when I would totally encourage you to reach for. And you can find these in bags if you're not comfortable making loose leaf herbs. I think it's always kind of fun to see them raw and dry, so you can kind of recognize that they come from the plants that we see out in the outdoors when you're walking around. Linden flower trees tend to grow all over the country. They're really commonly used in park settings and in cities and things because they're so pretty. They smell amazing and they attract bees and birds and all sorts of fun things. And lemon balm and nettle. Yeah, lemon balm is a really easy herb to grow, and so a lot of gardeners and garden shops will carry it. And then nettle is pretty easy to find in wet areas, so or along stream beds and things like that, especially in the forest. And then calendula is another one that it's can be a little tricky to start, but once it gets going, calendula will continue to reseed and reseed. And so as long as you don't dig it up and plow it down, you'll probably always have calendula in your garden, which is a fun little treat. And it's a wonderful pollinator too for the bees and the birds and all the fun things. Can you tell I've been teaching a lot of classes on sustainable living lately and gardening. And then if you ever get the chance to grow a little pot of chamomile, and I don't think you'll regret it. It is a wonderful little treasure. So as you're going through this hydration challenge this week, I hope you'll think about adding some herbal teas just to give you a little bit of boost of nutrients, to calm your nervous system, to uplift your mood, and just reach for some of those really beautiful things that we have access to help us further meet our goals and take good care of ourselves and the people that we love. So let me know if you have any questions, and until next time, be well.